This is the Kris Fade Show.
Kris Fade.
Kris Fade.
Kris Fade.
Kris Fade. Kris Fade.
Today's guest on the podcast is someone you may know from radio, hear on the TV, or watch on Netflix. This guy is one of the most recognizable people in Dubai. And today, we're welcoming Kris Fade.
I only put like $30,000 into the business.
Wow. There must have been a moment where you thought, I need to produce here. Let's say for as you go, I want to start Fade Fit now.
If anyone wanted to start a snack company right now, I'd tell them don't do it. I was overly obese at 128 kilos when I was 31 years old. So I was debating not showing this on social media.
When was that one time where you thought, shit, this isn't good? What do you define as success? What I found is that really successful people don't want contacts, they want to connect people.
It's when you got nothing to prove and you need nothing from anyone. So I've now got to a point in my life, which I like, is that I'm meeting people that I don't need nothing from them. They don't need anything from me. Did like a $200 million deal when we were fishing. They both bought a super yacht whilst we were having breakfast. I got angry.
And the final question I've got for you, Virgin Radio, do you see yourself whilst you're living in Dubai doing this forever? We have a very special guest, a friend of mine that I've been pestering for maybe 2 years. Kris, please come on. I'm too busy. But finally got me in my home. Welcome to the podcast, Kris.
You know, if you told me I didn't know it was in your home until we were on the way here. Yeah, because I wanted to see your. If you haven't seen Lewis's downstairs area,
oh, lots of people have.
I'm sure they have. No, this house is beautiful, man.
Thank you so much.
It made me depressed, actually.
Do you know what? Someone come in yesterday, really well known guy, a guy called Tommy Mallet. So I'm on a.
Oh yeah, I know Tommy.
So Tommy
and I follow each other.
Yeah, so he's over here now. He's moving to Dubai, and basically, I've never met him before. And I said, "Come to my house," because he was at the clubhouse, and he come in. And where other people come in, they go, "Oh my God, this is your, his dream home," and it makes you so proud that you've come from somewhere. And
yeah,
that's really nice when other people, like even when you come in and say, "Wow, it's really nice." It's a nice statement to hear. So thank you very much.
Did Tommy say the same thing?
Yeah, he said it was just, like, out of all the houses he's been to, the billionaires' houses, he said this is the best. I think all the boys get taken by the cinema.
Yeah, because you've made it livable. I've been in some homes that are obviously more like they're bigger and more extravagant, but they're not as homely. Like this has that wow factor to it, but it's got like I want to live in it.
Yeah, because
there's some homes you go into and you're like, oh,
they look beautiful.
It's beautiful, but you don't want to be in it.
It's hard with the big ceilings. When you get big ceilings to try and make it homely. We're turning this into a home decor podcast, by the way.
You are?
No, we are turning this into a home.
Yeah, let's talk about the carpet.
Yeah, big shout out. And also my wife for getting the thin glasses. See the thin glasses? They're new. She'll be buzzing that they're...
Just real quickly, did your wife have a lot to do with the way that it looks?
Yeah. She's the talent and taste. I'm basically the height and the financing. They're the things that we do. But getting on to you. So thank you very much for coming on to our podcast.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I'm sorry it's taken so long.
Yeah, 2 years. We won't talk about that.
Man, I know. You know what? I don't do a lot of podcasts. Like, I don't know if you...
I know you don't, because you don't rejected me enough time.
Yeah, it wasn't rejecting you. It was just like... And it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. If I was going to do it, I wanted to be... But I just find that... Yeah, I don't. It's not that I don't have enough time. I do radio every day.
That's what I'm saying.
I do 4 hours of like basically this every morning.
Yeah.
And I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning doing it. So sometimes I do it extra.
Tedious, isn't it? It's a bit like a footballer asking a footballer.
Not going to play
football. No, I do not want to do it.
But saying that, I like a podcast. I like a good podcast. Yeah. I've seen yours, and yours are good. I think it's more of a natural chat. It enables us to connect a little bit more, and I can shut up a little bit.
Yeah, I think, look, my goal and vision when we get on is I want to get people of influence, people that have done well, people that can, I suppose you can watch it and take something from it. And that's one of the biggest things that I've seen, whether it's real estate or business or life or fatherhood, which we'll get into today. There's people that are going through similar journeys of us, and they only see Kris Fade now. They don't see Big Kris.
Yeah.
Didn't make it.
Yeah.
Wasn't there. And I think it's important that we go through that journey. But yeah, watching you, I mean, I remember if you go back to 2006 when I moved to Dubai, there was another guy that did the radio as well. Was it Mo? Big Mo?
No, it wasn't Big Mo, but it was a Mo.
It was Mo, and he was always on the radio. And it's a core memory, you and the guys at that point. And I remember I had no money. and I was broke and I couldn't afford a laptop to do anything. And the only thing you could do is listen to the radio. And you guys on the way home, I remember Nasty Girl. I don't want to be a nasty girl. That was the '06 era. And that song was on Mobile. Come on.
Diddy. You got to watch out.
Diddy, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're not allowed to.
Yeah. No, you can talk about it. He's in jail. He's all right.
He's in prison now.
Yeah, he's in prison.
We won't go too far into the podcast like that. But yeah, I mean, I've seen your journey and, you know, I think you've gone through the phase of startup to growth. And I think you're in that hyper growth mode at the moment. But you've got such an interesting story because you're going through a few things. You're going through being a radio presenter, which is what you are, and you're an amazing known wow presenter. But you're doing something that I see the Kardashians do, that I see Ronaldo do. They build this audience and this gathering, and then they turn their fans into consumers of other businesses. So Ronaldo has his hotel. Kardashians have got the Skims. You're so well known here, and I know when you go to the mall, it must be horrible for you. Amazing, but also like
it's not horrible,
not
but it's
horrible,
intense,
but like you're always smiling. I've never seen another side of you, and it's intense when you're with your kids and things like that. But you've now got this capability to bring, let's say, Fade Fit to the table. You've launched this amazing health and wellness brand, and your audience will follow you, and that is an incredible trait that you've done in how long? 17 years?
Yeah. Well, 18. Actually, I think it could be 19.
Yeah, I'm 19. I'm 20 in January.
Yeah, so it's 19 for me because you came 1 year before me. I came in 2007. Yeah, I mean it's great that it's actually hard to get your audience to follow you. That's the trick. That's the hardest thing to achieve is anyone can get an audience, but how do you get them to? You got to take them on the journey with you.
Correct.
And so what I've tried to do with Fade Fit was like it wasn't an accident. I sort of had an aim that I wanted to do, and I had a dream that I wanted to create this snack brand when I came up with the idea. It wasn't like I've always had the idea of doing a snack company.
Yeah, woke up, it was my childhood dream.
Yeah, it's not. It was like eventually when I realized, okay, this is what I'm going to try to do, trying to move your audience to it. It's really hard because you've got to do it in a authentic and real way, and not like a forced way of like
buy now,
buy the product. Yeah, because you know none of that will ever last.
Do you know why that works for you?
Why?
I think you have a high level of empathy and you understand how people want to be taught to, how they're treated. You know, some people that are really successful, when we talk about the mall scenario, will tell people to go away. And you know these people have probably waited for him. My helper, Olivia, is obviously here at the moment. The first thing I was like, I know you want a picture. And she's so happy. She's like, I listened to you on the radio. I've seen you in the mall. You've taken people on that journey, as you said, and people want to come and speak to you.
Yeah, like one of the most beautiful moments of my life is that, like just meeting Olivia, your helper. Like that's what makes my life really happy. I get benefit out of that for some reason. Like, and no matter where I go, like be it in the UAE or no matter even like after doing Bling, like globally, I always had a bit of global exposure because a lot of people live in the UAE and then they travel and you'd go to other countries and they'd see you. But because after the reality show, like no matter where we go around the world, people will always stop and take a photo, right? And or they'll tell you they're little like, oh my gosh, it's a really weird feeling. I was just talking to my dad about it 2 days ago. He was here with me in the country and we were walking somewhere, and as we were walking, he was behind me and you know, someone came up and said, oh my gosh, Kris, I've been dying to meet you. Can I get a photo? Took a quick photo. Then we took a couple of other steps and there was a lady there. She's like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting to meet you my whole life. Gives me a really big hug.
Yeah.
And then I went and then it sort of continued. And Dad said to me, gosh, that must be weird.
Yeah.
And I said, what? He goes, you don't know any of them, hey? And I said, no. He goes, but it's like you know them.
But it's the same thing on social media, isn't it? Like, I have to bite my lip sometimes. If I follow somebody, let's say I follow you, and I know your kids' names, I know what you've done, where you've been, and you don't want to sound like a weirdo. Some people were happy that I'm just like, don't say it. I know you were in LA last week, and I know you were doing.
But like, I build my life now, and I share it with the world. And, you know, that's the I guess the destination that I'm going to, and I've got to make sure that my family who are involved in that are okay with it. Like now my daughters who are teenagers, 16 and 14. And
how have they found that?
Well, they were so much of it growing up. They were always in my stories, and people have seen my kids grow up. Like that's the craziest
thing. See them doing this now when they get
now they're like,
you off camera for me.
They're starting to come around a little bit more about it. And that's because there's a monetary factor to it as well. They know that they can monetize social media.
And you teach them this?
I'm teaching them every day. Like my 14-year-old, it's no word of a lie. She wants a G-Wagon. She's 14. She wants a G-Wagon. And I had this argument with her. I'm like, you don't even know how much a G-Wagon is. And she's like, yeah, I can get one for about 850,000 dirham.
Mental.
And she was like a 2023 model, 20. And I'm like, that's actually right.
Yeah.
So she knew, right? So she's done her research. I said, okay, I'll get you one I won't get you one.
Yeah.
You'll buy one by the age of 18 if you implement what I'm about to tell you. And so that sparked a little idea.
So have they got their own social media accounts now?
They've got their own. Well, they've got their own personal one. They've got one
Do
that
you run it, or do they run it?
No, they've got their own ones now that they run.
Yeah.
But then I've got one called Zara and Kiki,
Okay.
which they've had for.
So it was Nushi, wasn't it? And
it was she wants her name Zara.
Okay,
So her real name's Zara.
Yeah, so to be honest with Zara, when you're going into the adult world, you can call her, I call my boy Harvey, I call him Moon, Harvey Moon. I go, Moon, come on. When he's 18, I can't call him Moon anymore.
You might want it. You never know. Kiki's real name is Ariani.
Okay.
She likes Kiki.
Yeah.
She wants to still be called Kiki. So Zara and Kiki have got their page. They're still doing their thing. But I'm teaching them the art of like going to work. We had a Fade Fit activation over the weekend. And I told them, I want you guys to come. I want you to come help me sell snacks. I didn't pay them for that. I wanted them to understand because they have an allowance and then they spend also, they've got my credit card as well.
Yeah.
So they're spending a bit of money. So sometimes I'll be like,
limits or no limits?
Allowances for like their canteen, their everyday kind of stuff. Yeah. But then sometimes they'll go to the mall and they'll message me like, Dad, can we buy new clothes? We need new clothes.
You know Weo Bank, don't you?
Yeah, they do that. They can
out to Weo Bank.
Yeah, you should be sponsored by Weo Bank.
Mate, I am the biggest Weo Bank fan. Basically, like my help around work and life, whether it's my drivers or anything,
they all have
allocate them a specific card. And that card has a limit on it, and it tells you what itemized spend they have. So you could get Kiki's account, and you could be like, okay, you've reached your limit, and also I can see where you've been. And if they have like your card, it's all mixed in. So it's actually such a good thing to do at the.
If you are not sponsoring this podcast, you're missing out.
Yeah.
No, but like I have it. I don't have Weo, but I have a card from that I can track, and it's on my account, and I limit them to a certain amount. But at the same time, if they're going to go to the shops on a weekend and they want to buy some extra clothes, I'll say, yeah, cool. Here's your limit. This is how much you got to spend.
Do they go over it?
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're really good with their money. They understand it. We live a pretty fantastic lifestyle, and you and I were talking about it, because I went and saw your kids' rooms, and I'm like, wow, these rooms are amazing. Obviously, I didn't have that room growing up. I don't think you had that room growing up. And I said, it's crazy because that's all our kids know. And you said something which is pretty true. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but at the same time, it's cool as well. It's good. And that's so true because you want to give your kids the best you can possibly give them, right?
I look at it like I'm new money. I've made my own money. Like everything I've done is from what I and my wife and kids have done. So I think the hardest bit we have as parents is how do you give them everything without giving them everything? Because I want to give the world to my kids, but I say no 90% of the time to my kids. I'm very good at saying no, and not because I don't want to, because I just think as a father, you're a shepherd to the kids. Like you're teaching them what's right and wrong. How you said girls go to the Fade Fit. I have core memories of my dad, but he had this company called Whistles Direct, and he was selling whistles. This is like early 2000s, and he'd come to me.
What do you mean whistles? Like
literally, like it's the worst
referee
business
and trains,
referee whistles. And he was like, I've got a feeling. He went to a sports event and he bought loads of whistles. He's a mad entrepreneur.
Unbelievable.
Didn't work. But he said, go to the exhibition. Whistles, you're a referee. Do you need it for? It just didn't work. But like we went through this phase of different entrepreneurship, and I remember going with my dad to these different places, and I love that you're doing that with your kids.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is we're imprinting on them like what we want them to be.
Well, I want them to see. It's crazy. They were asked in an interview recently about what is your dad? What do you like you love about your dad? I forget how the question was worded. I wasn't there for the answer. I only saw the aftermath.
Okay.
Or like, what does your dad mean to you? Or I forget how it was worded, but both their answers were the same. He's the most loving and hardest working dad.
Wow.
And they both said it. They were both asked separately, but they both came back as saying I'm the hardest working. Because they see me, I work pretty hard. I'm up in the mornings. I'm working much all day.
And they'll say that about you.
And I love that they said that because I want them to know what hard work is. I don't want them to have to work hard, funny enough, because you're the dad and you want to set them up.
Yeah, but you want to set the tempo for them.
But I want them to know that, nothing comes easy. And I always explain to them, I put things into, we're flying back home to Sydney right now and, it's expensive to fly. Like
it's horrible, isn't it?
It's a horrible. And I'm buying 6 business class tickets and, the prices. It's mind-boggling. If I told myself when the guy that moved here that was also broke, like had zero cash,
Yeah.
took a loan out for my rent first year, to what I just spent on my airline tickets. It's physically, it makes me sick, right?
Do you know why I like it though? But so I do the same. I've set my standards that until I can, my mindset is I'll do it whilst I can, and when I can't, I won't. That's how it is. And the other day I booked first class to London, and booking 4 of them, when they're below 2, it's incredible. When you book 4 tickets, it's beyond painful. What I've said to myself is that that's now the standard that I want to live. So my mindset is not, oh, that's expensive. In my head, I'm like, cool, how do I make that money, the extra money? And that's how my mind works.
But you know what? It's crazy. I had this exact conversation with Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
Right? Him and I are at dinner one night. We're sitting around having a chat, and we were talking about, I don't know how we got onto it. He puts his kids in economy.
Oh, wow, that's rough.
And then I heard in another interview that Gordon Ramsay did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go, and I said to Robbie, I'm like,
Gosh, that.
can't do it. He's like, no, they've got to learn. That's how they are. You know, obviously, if he's probably touring, I'm sure if it's covered,
Yeah.
they're probably up in business. But
We ain't doing that though. I'm not doing that.
I did it once.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, I felt real guilty about it. So, because I remember the girls were at the back with Virginia, our nanny and helper, and this is before we had cruise. And yeah, I remember I was visiting them. Like I just felt like I didn't feel good. Like so, that was that moment where I said, and the girls were fine about it.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, that doesn't feel good back here.
Yeah, but they were okay. Like they were like cool, and you know. But then I remember thinking to myself at that time, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to do that unless I really have to do that. So now. You know, we all fly in business. I can afford it. So
And when you can't, we won't.
and yeah, when you can't, you won't. And Cruz just turns 2, so he's now got his own ticket.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you know, there's 6 of us, but like, I just think of that as a testament of like, you know what, I've worked really freaking hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy certain moments in my life. I don't spend a lot of money on dumb crap. Like,
You know, your life, I'd say it looks on social media, especially the last 5 or 6 years, really gone a step above. Would you say that's a fair number?
I think so. I think
Is that linked to Brianna?
yes,
Oh,
it's my wife. It's
Yes.
all,
But I've been asked the same question,
yeah.
and they'll say, you know, I've been with Georgia 12, 13 years, and they say, well, how much impact does she have on your success? Obviously, I run the business, I bring the money, but being married to somebody that when you come home is a nice environment, a safe environment, where it's a person you want to be with, do you think your success wouldn't have been as high as it is today if you wasn't unhappy, Kris?
I think that's a good question. I don't know. Does my success relate to the relationship that I am with my wife? I don't think so. That's an honest answer.
I think you're a different person though, Kris.
But I'm a happier person with her.
Which is what I think people see, which is what they allude to. I think if you were the bigger version of Kris Fade, walking around with your dreadlocks and people wouldn't feel that inner smile. You have this aura where, you know, like me, I know I'm happy. I'm always happy. You're never there. And I think if you have that in you, I think you naturally attract people to you.
I believe in energy and I believe in aura. So I believe, I'm happy. I'm probably attracting a lot more. I try to elude, or I try to elude. I'm trying to, what is it? I'm trying to like let out my energy to people, project it out to people. Go. I think people see it.
Yeah.
I think people feel it.
Is that tiring doing that? Because you're 24/7 with it.
It is. It's not. It can be sometimes where you're like, you know, yesterday, for example, I had a really long day. I was up early at 4, did my radio show, and then I had back-to-back 5 meetings, 2 in Dubai, 3 in Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
Then came back, saw the kids for like 10 minutes, got dressed up and had another private dinner with
You tire me
people.
when I see you on Insta.
And that was a lot of energy, because that's a lot of people that you walk into a room, they're like, hey, how you doing? You're on, right? So it can get tiring sometimes.
Yeah.
I think I
How
try
do
to
you combat that then? So if you're tired, like this,
get it done, son.
That's it,
Wake
yeah?
the F up and go. Like, I just don't.
what's your downtime then? What do you do? Because obviously people say to me about my downtime, and I'm a weird, funny character. Like, people that don't know me. They see Lewis Allsopp at work, and they'll see the guy that's driving the company. When I'm home, put my pajamas on, I'll play PlayStation, I'll play FIFA or UFC,
Yeah.
I'll watch a movie, and I love just being in another world where, like, I'm not thinking about profit and loss and growth or people or problems. I'm basically, if it's FIFA, I'm about scoring a goal. If I'm watching a movie, I'm so engrossed into it that I'm not thinking. What's your meditation?
So crazy. I'm always on, which I can't sit down and watch a movie anymore because my mind's just doing a billion things. It's on the phone.
Yeah.
So my phone's always on me. I can sit and watch UFC or NBA.
Yeah.
So sports is an outlet for me.
Yeah.
So I watch my Lakers and I watch the UFC. Those are two things that I'm pretty enthralled in. I can sit back. You were one of the reasons why I got a cinema room. I think I may have messaged you and said,
Yeah, you did.
do you use your cinema room? And I think you said it was the greatest room that you
Greatest
built.
room that ever existed.
And so that was when I was like, because I was debating having a cinema room or just a regular TV room. And then I flipped it. I got Lewis to get me someone to quote me. They quoted me something that made me vomit. I found another price.
More than your business class flights.
Yeah, way more than my business class flights. And then I got the cinema built. So now that is my little sanctuary as well. I go into my little cinema room.
It's like a man thing, isn't it?
Just turn the basketball on.
Yeah. And you're not even watching it sometimes. It's there, but you're in the sanctuary.
Yep, I'm in my sanctuary. I've got my phone in my hand sometimes. I got a Coke Zero or something in my hand.
You don't drink, do you?
No. No, not really. I'm not a drinker.
What did you used to drink when you were Big Chris Fade?
No,
Like I call you Big Chris Fade.
Yeah, Big Chris Fade. That's Fat Chris Fade, just for everyone that wanted to know.
You should do like an older, but unhealthy snacks. Big Chris.
I got to show you this photo.
Big crisps, and you'll do full.
This is how I used to be. I haven't even shared this one. I was debating not showing this on social media, but now this is only a year ago to today. So I'll put it on. Oh, if I flip it that way, yeah, that's probably.
We'll put it on the screen anyway for you.
No, I'll put it
wow. You look better now.
That's only last year.
Wow. Yeah, but you hide it well in your black clothes.
Yeah. So, but now that's where I've dropped from there to there is 18 kilos.
Seriously?
Yeah, 18 kilos.
How old are you now?
45.
So yeah, you've done the health journey in your 40s.
Yeah. Well, I did it. No, I did it I was overly obese at 128 kilos when I was 31 years old.
Did that have any health implications or anything at the time? Not pressure or anything that you checked?
Nah, I was all right. I remember my blood pressure was fine. I was just not healthy though. Yeah. I mean, I was smoking then.
Oh wow!
I'm grateful that I wasn't a drinker because.
So why don't you drink?
I don't know. We grew up in a household with alcohol. My grandfather was an alcoholic. Yeah. So I think my parents did a job about we don't want alcohol in the house. Yeah. So I just didn't have a drink. I remember being young and 18 and trying to fit in Australia where everyone just drank beer.
Yeah, they have a beer.
And I hated beer. I hated the taste of it.
So it makes it full as well, then bloated.
I still hate the taste of it today.
Yeah.
And I used to look at my mates when we were younger like, oh, yeah, grab a beer and you drink it. Even
see them people now, by the way, they're big now.
They're big boys. They look a lot older than I do.
Yeah, they do.
So I just didn't drink. It's just not in me. Can I go out with some mates sometimes and have a drink? Yeah. And if I do, it would probably be, it's just tequila on the rocks. Yeah. Clean. I will have it. But I'm not out there to go, I don't need it. And, if anyone that's come out with me realizes.
Have you ever been in the last 5 years in a place where you think, oh, I was battered at that point?
Never.
Really?
I'll never be battered.
So I've been a couple of times at them points.
Where you get yourself out of there quick?
About 3 years ago, I went to a boxing event and I was basically in the ring. They called me in the ring and I watched the video the next day and it's like me saying, Lewis, who would you want to box? And I'm not. And I watched it and I thought, that's.
What was your answer?
My answer was, anybody, I'll send them to space. It was my exact answer. And that video went round the offices. And I watched it. I was like, because they goaded me in the ring at that point. You're like, getting it, and there's all the crowd there. But I was in a bad.
And this is, again, it's a great learning curve. If you're
young, that was my learning
curve. If a younger person's listening, I remember being about 17 years old, getting drunk. We went to a party that we were waiting to go to, me and my cousin. It was this party that we were dying to go to. We knew it was coming up. It was 3 months in advance. We finally got to the party. It was so hyped. We started drinking way too early.
Yeah.
By the time the actual party hit at 9 o'clock, we were gone. I remember vomiting and being sick. That moment as a 17-year-old.
That was it.
And I'm kind of glad it happened when I was 17. And now I'm not a huge drinker, but if I do drink, you will never see me out of control. I'm always in control. And that's A, because I'm that type of person.
Yeah.
But B, it's also because no matter where I'm at,
You got to be in control.
Someone will come up and take a photo with me. Someone will come and say hello. Yeah, anywhere. Like I was just in Bali a couple of weeks ago. Like 2:00 in the morning it happens. I was in Tokyo the week before that, 4 a.m. in a ramen bar. This is how crazy, like, you know, doing a reality show is. 4 a.m. in a ramen bar in Tokyo. You know, Japanese girl sitting next to me and just holds up my Instagram and goes, Netaflix, Netaflix. And she knows me from Dubai Bling. And I'm like, so you've always just got to be like, kind of, you're responsible.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of kids that look up to me, and I want to be like a kind of a role model. I have that as a responsibility of just being,
I think I'm exactly the same.
hopefully, a decent human. So, you know, but the health kick came at, I was obese at 31. And then when I got a divorce, I think it was around 31 or 32, I forget, but we separated with my ex-wife, and that is what kicked me into fitness, because I was pretty obese at that point.
Do you think you were a bad version of a husband to her at that point, being in that state?
As in a physical state, was I a bad person?
It's going to affect your mental, isn't it? Like everything from getting dressed, buying clothes, going out.
Yeah, like
when you're at that, I've been there, by the way, like really like out of shape, and you don't want to do anything.
Yeah, but I don't think like I was a quote unquote bad husband, but I think I was bad looking husband. Like if that's a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing, right? And you know, after that, I got myself fit. I realized, okay, I'm going to take control of my life a little bit. Had a lot more time on my hand. I didn't have, you know, we were going through a divorce, so you know, I was just like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, and I started training a lot more. And
did you have PT on it?
Yeah, I did have a PT. I was training at Fitness First in Oasis Center. That's where it all kind of started.
Oasis Center.
Yeah, in Oasis
Have you
Center.
got PT now?
I don't. Well, no, kind of I do, but I don't. But I train myself. I own a couple of PT companies though.
Yeah.
365. Shout out to those guys.
Big shout out.
To enhance fitness as well. Those two businesses. So I've done enough PT training over the years to know what I'm doing. I also know I know what I like to do. You're not going to see me in a gym. I did like this kind of semi CrossFit High Rocks workout the other day. I did it for charity.
Yeah.
And I nearly vomited. And I'm like, and they're like, you should get into this more. And I'm like,
so Carl got me to do a Boxica one, but it was a double session, all outdoors. And I went home, and my heart, I couldn't get it down. It was like 180. And you know when you start panicking, you're like, no, I'm fine. And you're checking your Apple Watch.
That's what happened to me just on the weekend, because it was an outdoor session. I'm doing these things I don't usually do.
Yeah.
My heart rate, I could feel my heart like just going.
And you start overthinking, didn't you?
Yeah, and I'm like, I tapped out halfway through it. I said, I'll come back. I went to the toilet where they had an air conditioning unit. I sat under the AC, just breathing out, thinking to myself, am I going to have a heart attack? You hear enough stories about people having heart attacks. And I always
say dies at IROC.
I always have it as headlines. I always have this headline of like radio DJ Kris Faders. You know,
Unfortunately, he's passed away.
Yeah, I hear it, I see it, and I'm like,
Rihanna Fader's taken over the empire.
oh my god,
oh my god, and her new husband is Big Rossi.
No,
Big Rossi is running Fade Fit.
Please.
Be incredible.
That would be brought to the ground pretty quickly. But so I end up just getting on my own fitness journey, and that's sort of like, you know, and then I got really super fit, too fit.
Yeah.
Obsessed, like stupidly obsessed. One of these guys that were like
macro counting,
taking the meals to the restaurants. I can't go out on a Saturday because I've got to. Yeah, and I became stupid. But you know, it was that moment in my life that I had to be obsessed with something else. So that was a good focus.
It's an entrepreneurial addiction, isn't it? Like, if you're an addictive personality, you can get to the level. And I've realized now that I just want to look good. I want to be healthy. But the main reason a lot of people, especially in their late 30s, go through that, they have kids.
Yep.
And you want to be there for your kids when you're older, which is probably my number one thing. You know, it's now part of my routine. People say to me, why do you train? I built a gym in my house, as you've seen.
Best gym.
Yeah, and I do it because I go to work. Before I go to work, no matter what happens, I don't escape. I do an hour and a half, and I go. I do resistance, do a bit of running, and the only reason is not for the six-pack. I want to be Sylvester Stallone, how he's 85 years old, walking around, looking in good shape, and you're like, wow, that's a good older man. I want to be like that.
You want to be able to, like, you know, run around with your kids when you get older. Like, even me, I'm 45, and, you know, Brianna and I were having the discussion the other day where she's like, should we have another kid? I mean, I'm like, my response is like, whatever you want.
Game.
Oh, yeah, whatever you want to do. Like, I'm ready.
She in or not? Does she want them?
It depends on what day it is.
Yeah.
Monday, she wants a kid. Let's have a kid. Thursday, she's like, I don't think we should have a kid. Next week, she's like, just randomly, I'll get a message, I think we should have a kid. And my response is always the same. She asked me the other day, like literally, I think I had the longest possible day of my existence. I get home and like I'm just like, and she's like, so do you want to have a kid? And I'm like, babe, I just got home.
Give her a kid.
Yeah, she said, look, I don't know if she want. I mean, I
It's
think
a trick question. Women are tricky, mate.
Well, then
they want you to say no and then tell you off.
she said to me, she asked me a question, and the answer that I said to her, she goes, that means you want another kid.
There you go. So you could have said no, and she would have been, that means yes.
Yeah, she's like, would you care? No, she said, if I told you I was pregnant right now,
Oh, God.
how would you feel? And I said, I'll be happy about it.
Wow.
She goes, okay, you want another kid.
Wow.
And I went, all right.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Because I've told her, like, I'm down forever, whatever. But the moment of that was, okay, I'm 45. So then I started doing the maths in my head. All right, the kid's 10.
55.
Well, it wouldn't even be 55. You'd be 56 or 57 by the time, you had the baby.
It's an older.
So you're like, can I run around with my kid? And then I look at other 57-year-olds who are fit that I know.
Yeah, that you want to be the fit 50,
And they're fine.
You're good, yeah.
Yeah, they're fine. So as long as I remain, that's now like what you said. I want to just remain healthy for my children. I want to live a long life. Longevity is a big thing now. I feel like I feel like we're going to be able to live a little bit longer, hopefully, with
30, decrepit.
What's that?
130 and decrepit. Well, I want to get onto the entrepreneurial side of things, because there's a lot of people that watch our podcast that own businesses, run businesses, or self-employed in finance and everything else. You've obviously been through the highs and lows. When was that one time where you thought, shit, this isn't good?
Right now, no.
I am in trouble.
There
must have been a moment where you thought, I need to produce here.
I mean, from an entrepreneurial side of view, okay, I'm being pretty blessed and lucky, and I put myself in the right position. Yeah, I would like to think that. Even from my Fade Fit entrepreneurship, the snack company, like I tell people, man, I only put like $30,000 into the business.
Wow. And are you the full owner of it? Have you got partners?
No, just me.
It's mental. You started a business of $30,000. That's wild.
And it's just cash flowed itself. I haven't had to inject any money into it, and it's doing really, really well.
You must have hired an expert company to do the. Is that how it works? The tasting. Do they bring you different chocolates that you like the looks of?
We've got a great manufacturer.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If let's say for instance you go, I want to start Fade Fit now. How do you go about finding what chocolate you like and what wrappers you use? And
if anyone wanted to start a snack company right now, I'd tell them don't do it.
Because I'm here.
No, not even. It's just so freaking. Unless you got like $1 million to lose, you're guaranteed to lose $1 million. It's worked out better for me because of my platform and my partners. First thing you do is go find a manufacturer. Or either you open up your own factory, but then you need investment straight out. Yeah. Let's say you need $1 million to buy the machines and buy all that and get everything. Yeah, the machinery is really expensive to produce. I'm talking about like good quality, high quality products, not like.
But do people bring you the chocolates and be like, tasties, which one do you like? Is that how it works?
Yeah, we just tasted 22 new products last week. We went to our manufacturer. It was R&D day.
Yeah.
We had told them what we wanted. They also have their own research and development. We came together. It's just a huge table of just products that we may do. Out of those 20 that we tried, we all agreed, I think, on 4 that we 100% certain that we want to release.
Okay.
And that's, I tried one of them for the 3rd time yesterday because we wanted to change a little bit of the flavor. We all have our say. Yeah. And that will be, I'll say it, it'll hopefully come out in a month or 2, but it's going to be a matcha because matcha is such a trend.
Never tried matcha.
You've never tried it?
Never tried it.
For me, it tastes horrible. I don't like it.
We're about to launch the chocolate.
Yeah, but it's crazy. We released a matcha product that I like.
Yeah, same thing with the Dubai chocolate. I don't like the green things, but you try the chocolate and you go, wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
So we tried it. It's funny. They had 2 flavors. Matcha ball if you like matcha, matcha ball if you don't like matcha.
Wow.
And so when I tried the matcha ball that if you don't like matcha, I tried it, hated it because it tastes like matcha. Yeah. Then this one, I liked it, but it still had a bit of that matcha kick and we ended up going for that one. So, but yeah, we just, we try products. We look at what other companies are doing globally around the world. We see what trends are working out. And, we try to create our own trends and we try to follow some trends. I think it's important to do.
What's been the biggest stumbling block you've had running the business? What's one thing, a day or a moment where you thought, wow,
a lot of it's quality control. You can't control the quality sometimes of the products. Chocolate may change. We know that pistachios became a really vast commodity, and
chocolate goes white.
Yep. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, for example, dark chocolate. Yeah, it's something called sometimes with some of our products, which we've worked on over the years, is, you can get this blooming effect to it. So the chocolate goes kind of not white, but it just has this tinge to it. And people will open it up and they'll be like, oh my gosh, it doesn't look good. I don't want this product. And
We eat it anyway.
you try, but some people won't. And you got to explain to them, hey, that's just the natural effect of chocolate. And what they don't realize is, because we're a product that is mainly natural, that's why it looks like that.
Yeah, of course.
We don't have to have it look like that, but then we inject it with preservatives and artificial flavors and numbers.
And that's what you're not trying to be.
And that's what we don't want to be, right? So you got to try to find this line. So the biggest stumbling would be maybe the quality control.
One thing that you seem to do really well, and you said it a minute ago, you put yourself in really good circles.
Yeah.
Is that a big part of opening doors in business?
I just think you need to put, nothing. I think I put on my Instagram the other day, it's not so much about luck. It's putting yourself in the position to be chosen, or it's putting yourself in the position to be selected, or putting yourself in the position to be promoted. So I think I've done a good job.
So people now invite you in.
Yeah, to put myself in certain positions. And now, I'm at a point where people are inviting me, and I will make the decision if I want to be in there.
That's how I feel like I've suddenly, in the last couple of years, really got to, as a surreal moment about 3 weeks ago. I was invited for lunch by a guy called Shaq Khan, who's one of the initial investors in Spotify when it originally launched.
Yeah.
He said, I'm having a dinner with 16 people. I said, will you come? It was a lunch. I said, yeah, no problem, I'll come. So I've turned up. I knew him already. The sports minister, Khalfan Balhul, he was there.
Yeah.
Issam Kazim, who is the
Dubai Tourism CEO, awesome guys.
There was a lady called Rasha, who is Khaldoon's sister.
I know Rasha very well. She's amazing.
But every person at the dinner table, it was the original investor in Property Finder. And I was like, wow, I am the poorest person in this room. But when you can get into them rooms, business and door opening becomes a little bit easier. Because what I found is that really successful people don't want contacts. They want to connect people. That's the biggest thing, isn't it? I do that a lot. I amount of people I put together and want nothing from it. I'm like, he's really good. Do your thing. And people appreciate that when you get to that level.
Yeah, it's when you got nothing to prove and you need nothing from anyone. So I've now got to a point in my life, which I like, is that I'm meeting people that I don't need nothing from them. They don't need anything from me. That is the relationship that you want to be in. And I think that's the relationship you want to be with your partner.
Yeah. When
you don't need anything from each other, when you're mutually beneficial for one another. And that may just be having a conversation or being in the same room. But when I get to go out with some of these, I believe I've met some really close friends now. I've only met them in the last 3 years.
You were getting choked out last week. What was his name?
Yeah. Islam Makachev. He put me to bed.
And Usman, you were having dinner with.
Usman,
84 kg.
Yeah, but
Will Smith?
Will, yeah. So, we've been doing some stuff together as well on the down low.
Yeah.
With some of the stuff that he has. So, these guys are, again, they don't need anything from me. I don't need anything from them,
It's a mutual friendship.
Just a cool little, and you help each other where
of course
you need to help each other. And that's the cool thing. And this city and this country has become such a hub for everyone wanting to come here. It's a beautiful place to be. And I love being in a room where, I was at a place the other day where I think they did a $200 million deal when we were fishing.
Madness.
Right? And I was like,
only in Dubai.
That's crazy. I was at breakfast with some friends where they both bought, I forget how much it was, but they both bought a super yacht whilst we were having breakfast.
Wow.
And I got angry at it.
Great friends, them.
Yeah, but I got angry. I'm like, I was so happy because I just bought a McLaren.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You guys are here at breakfast and you just bought these two. And the way that the conversation was happening, it was like they were buying a
but you know
Ford Focus 2025 model. Hey, do you like
I
this?
love hanging around people at them levels because when you hang around with them, it sort of grounds you a little bit because everybody's doing better somewhere.
I've also learned though, and this is as I've got older as well, not to, you want to push yourself to go to the next level, but what you've got to stop doing is I've walked into your home right now. I love your home. Your home made me go, wow. And there was a bit of me going, man, his home's a lot nicer than my home.
It's horrible, isn't it? I've got that, mate.
But that, I've stopped that voice now.
Yeah.
And it's not.
But it's still going to be there.
Yeah, it's still there, but it's not it makes me feel like I'm less successful.
Correct.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I may have bought my 720 McLaren and the guy next door to me comes home with the, I don't know, brand new Ferrari 2025, whatever model it is, that's 7 times 1. I don't look at that and go,
No, you appreciate your own lawn, your own garden.
And I'm like, and I'm happy with what, because I know what I've.
Do you think that comes maturity, or is it successful? What do you think that comes with? Because that's happened to me.
I think it's success. I think, again, once you have nothing to prove, and like, I have zero to prove. I wear like, I mean, this is from Nordstrom Rack. This shirt, it's about $12.
Rack.
It's an American like savings store.
Working for you.
No, but I'm saying like it's $12. I think these are Zara $30. Like, I don't need to put myself in a, I don't know, in a branded.
You don't care.
I don't care. Like, I've got nothing to prove.
You know,
to
then
anyone.
rich people like in America, it's like what's his name, Jack Nicholson, and you see them walking around when you're younger, and they're dressed like tramps. Like, why are you doing it? And as you get older, you're like,
you realize,
I see why you're doing it, because you don't care,
mate. I think you wouldn't care me saying this, but the CEO of Virgin Radio International, is a gentleman called Ian Grace, and he's a legend, icon when it comes to radio. No, he lives in Australia. He basically owns the rights to all the Virgin, like he's the franchisee for Virgin Radio, right? And he's the reason why I took my job here.
Yeah.
Right? The guy is legit just, in radio, he's iconic. He's a people person. He understands humans. He understands talent. He knows how to run radio stations the right way. He's zero BS, right? The guy's minted. Lives in one of the most expensive areas in Sydney. He's got a Porsche collection that would fill up this entire room. Yeah. When he meets up with me in Sydney, he comes in like this 1991 Land Cruiser that looks like it's about to break down, shorts with holes in it, singlet and flip-flops, and just walks out. Now, you see this guy, you just think to yourself, like, he looks homeless. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's the trick there.
But that's success.
Yeah, no, there you go.
I'm
actually with you. I don't know how we write that down, but look homeless to feel success. But I've got three questions.
Hold on. Look homeless, but don't be homeless.
Yeah, don't be homeless. Have a home, but be home. Don't
have a real good home.
3 questions I want to wrap up with.
Okay, go.
Number 1. Virgin Radio.
Yep.
Do you see yourself whilst you're living in Dubai doing this forever? Because you are so busy.
Yes, I do. I'll answer it right now. Yeah. I don't have to do Virgin Radio anymore.
But you love it.
I do it because I love radio. I believe it's the best radio station in the world. And I'm not just saying that. I know so many radio stations. I believe it's truly the best radio station in the world. I think the breakdown of this city and this country allows it to be as well. Yeah. I had Steve Harvey on my show the other day.
I've seen that.
Which is so cool. I love Steve. Steve wanted to be on our show.
Oh, wow.
Steve's management called me and said, hey, Steve wants to be on the Steve Harvey of the UAE show, and that's your show. He asked not to just be interviewed. He wants to do your show with you.
Yeah.
And so whilst he was on the radio, his mind was blown because we had one caller on who was Russian, then we had an Egyptian, then we had someone from China.
He's probably just American.
And he's just like, this is unbelievable. And I said, yeah, it is unbelievable, because rarely in the world would you be able to have such a multicultural breakdown of radio. So I will always do Virgin Radio here, I believe. I mean,
sign that 10-year contract. Sign him up.
I got offered work outside the region in surrounding countries. Yeah. Really good money, like way good money.
But you love what you do. And
I love what I do. And, you know, the company that I work for, this is not me having a kiss, you know, someone's backside, but like, yeah, they're great. They're cool. We mutual respect over the years.
I think you've been with someone that long, you do like them.
Yeah.
Question number 2 for you before we wrap this up. 2 of the 3. Where do you see Dubai in the next 10 years? Do you think it's going to continue on the trajectory, population, everything from the people, the safety? How do you see Dubai?
Well, I bought a lot of property now in Dubai. I hope it's going to keep going up.
It's going to keep going up. We've heard it here first.
I believe it's going to go. I think we're obviously in a really, the last 18 months, I think the growth has been huge.
It's been crazy.
I think it's going to, again, I'm not an expert, but I believe it's still going to do that. I think it will plateau a little bit. But I think it's going to continually grow. I don't think we're nowhere close to the prices of London, New York, Tokyo, Sydney. Like, we have so much more ahead of us. We're still babies.
Do you know why people are hurt? Because if you hadn't bought 3 years ago or 4 years ago, you think that the market's overpriced now. But the honest truth is that it was just very good value back then. It was too cheap at that point. And people don't seem to get that concept that if you bought 4 years ago, it doesn't mean you're at the peak now. It just means that you didn't buy 4 years ago.
Yeah. So do you believe that there's obviously still a lot more growth in the market?
I think, look, I just did a video, and I don't know if you need to watch it. Basically, it's about inflation. And basically, if you take Coca-Cola, the iPhone when it first launched was £279. I paid $2,000 for my last one, 2TB, whatever it was. Same thing with Tesla, same thing with, name any asset, Coca-Cola, if it goes up in value over years, property is an asset. it will go up. Even if the market stays the same,
It will still go up.
because you're not going to end up paying more for Coca-Cola than you are for a property. Property goes to, if the Coke goes from £1 to £2, there's a very good chance your asset of a property is going to go from 100 to 200. That's just how inflation works. So anyone that just lives in an asset, like your house now, you just enjoy sitting in that cinema and live there. You won't moan that bread's doubled because your property would have doubled with it. And that's how inflation works. Inflation is an asset-based growth, and that's what a property is, and cars.
Yeah, and I believe, like the cars were thrown in there, I believe that, property, I bought like maybe 3 or 4 off-plan properties in the last 18 months in this country.
So you believe?
I believe, yeah, and that was COVID. I think COVID really made me feel like I wanted to believe. I just felt like, I always say that during COVID time is when the UAE felt like my home.
Yeah.
It was hard to get back home to Australia. And I was like, these guys here in the UAE were just like offering anything to everything that we needed. And I was like, okay, this is my home. And that's when I bought my home. It was just
big moment when you buy your first home, isn't it, in Dubai, because you planted then at that point.
And I was, think about it. It took me 15 years to buy my first home here. That showed you that, and people always say, would you come back to Australia? I'm like, back then I was like, yeah, I'll probably go back home and live. Now I'm like, no, I don't think I'll go home. Will I go back to Australia? Of course. Do I own property in Australia? I do. Do I want to go spend 3 months of the year in Australia? Of course I do.
Not planning yourself there.
But this will always, I think, be my home.
I say to everybody, I was born in England, but I was made in Dubai.
I like that. That's cool.
How I was. And the final question I've got for you: if you were to, if you wasn't here anymore, someone was talking about Kris Fade's legacy, what would you want your legacy to be about?
Oh, cool. I would just want him to be like, I would like them to say that he made us feel, what's the word? There's a word, because I get a lot of people tell me this. It's not safe.
Christmassy?
No. It's like when a lot of people have grown up listening to my voice on the radio, right?
You're like home.
Yeah. So when they come and they just hear my voice, it makes them feel just, like home.
Yeah.
And I want that. I want them to, when they hear me, they feel at home, they feel safe.
Yeah.
And that's the legacy that I want. And I want him to be like, oh my gosh, he had the best radio show this country's ever had.
Yeah.
That's the legacy that I would love to be able to leave, that in, years gone when I'm not here anymore, or maybe I've left the country, or I've died, or whatever it is, I want them to be like, there was this radio show that used to be on in Dubai.
Big Rossi.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
No, but I would love them to say, there was this radio show it was called the Kris Fade Show, and there was Rossi, and there was Pretty, and these guys were they were amazing, and they woke up the country every morning, and they...
You know how you get Friends on TV and it's homely?
Yeah.
That's basically what I would class you are for the radio. I mean, if I was to, put something together to describe how you are now the poster boy of Dubai, the success for Dubai, the voice of Dubai. And I think you give a very good, positive energy that I think Dubai is about. So you've done an incredible job.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Appreciate you, bro. Sorry it took me so long, but...
No problem. See you in 2 years then.
Nah, less. If it's at this home, mate, I'm not leaving. Let's go for a swim.